need to isolate your individual muscles is a lie, a misrepresentation, a little bit of voodoo, some might say. I'm going to prove it to you through my own personal experience. The conversation starts with this short form piece of content. The need to isolate your muscles is a lie, and I'm living proof. Just doing 2 arm exercises, I've been able to grow my whole upper body. No need to obsess over exercise variations and isolating every individual muscle. Just pick a handful of movements you like and focus on pushing harder, showing up all the time, and progressing your training. That's it. A good friend of mine, a loyal subscriber, says, Matt, I love you too, brother, but you had a very good foundation of a body before you started to do only arms. So when you bulk up and gain size in your arms, your whole body grew too. Shrugging emoji. I agree, my dude. Let's get into it. So first, here's a picture of what my physique looked like when I could train properly. Now, I did get injured after 5 years of training and kind of had to step away. This picture's from 2016, but from 2015 to 2019, this is roughly what my physique looked like, having built up some of a foundation, training my whole body like a normal person. And then the contrast here is the super duper, maximally freaking juicified, puffed up, inflated pipe daddy maximal era of present day. And you can see that not only have the arms grown a lot from doing only arms over the last 4 years, but my chest, back, and shoulders have also beefed up significantly bigger than they ever were before, from elevating my training consistency, intensity, and ability to progress, the weight, the reps, the sets, all these other things, okay? So I've leveled up my training approach, only doing arms, and built my physique to be better and bigger than it ever has in my upper body, all right? And so my point is that if you're somebody who's into lifting, which I'm assuming you are if you clicked on this video and you're not just watching to hear the ramblings of a madman because you think I'm entertaining and wacky, then what my message is that isolation, the message that's being put out there that you need to isolate all these individual muscles, you need to target your lower lats, you need to do 17 different variations of a freaking pulling movement where you're mounting the seated row, you got to insert it into your groin area, you're leaning forward at a 38-degree angle, and you're using the special D handle with the twisted thing, and then as you come down, you stretch and you lean and you pull and you twist, and the lat only activates it. What the f***, man? What the f*** are we doing? Just do some pulling movements. If I'm able to grow my back, look at my back. Okay, I haven't hit the back directly in years, all right? And you can see from before that it's bigger than it was. So I've grown it from just doing arm training. Yes, I had a foundation. That is true. But through the intensity, consistency, and progression of my workouts, only hitting arms, my back has significantly grown. So what you should take from that is I probably don't need to obsessively focus on all these super hyper fixated isolating this muscle, that muscle with this tweak, this it's probably not necessary. Doesn't mean it doesn't have a place, doesn't mean you can't still do isolation and try to advance your technique, but for the most part, just pick some pulling movements. Just pick some pulling movements, some horizontal pulling, some vertical pulling. You're hitting all the back muscles, and then always go to your sessions, train with maximum intensity, up the weight, add more sets, change the rest times, change the tempo, everything, all this shit I'm always talking about on this channel. Invest all your energy into that process. And that's what's gonna give you way more results. And that's what I'm sharing. I didn't think my whole upper body was gonna grow from just training arms. I was happy to just be able to get an arm pump again. And then slowly I started to notice, and it was impossible for me not to conclude that a lot of this hyper fixating on isolating, it's just overkill. And it's not that it's wrong, but it's just not that. People are consuming that content thinking this is the value. Therefore, I'm going to go into my sessions and apply all these specific isolation approaches, and that's what's going to lead to growth. No, you got the foundation of the intensity, the consistency, and progression is what's going to lead to growth, regardless of what movements you do and what freaking handle and what angle your body is at. And that's what I want people to take, and that's the message I'm trying to get across. Of course, in short form, you got to come up with some hook to pull people in, otherwise nobody watches it. I've tried presenting the argument in a more normal way and just nobody sees it. Even if you're following or subscribed, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, people don't see it. It doesn't even show it to your subscribers. You got to pull them in. So I'm like, isolation's a lie, but it's not what I'm saying. The real point is that it's overkill. And that, I think I'm a unique example that shows that. And that's what I want you to take from it, because that's what I've taken from it myself. Because I used to be in that situation when I first started training. Consuming the same information, thinking that I had to hit the short head of my bicep versus the long head, and I gotta do this for my lower pecs, and this for my upper pecs, and if I wanna hit my upper lat, I need to do that movement, my lower lat, that movement, and then the middle part of the inside of my rhomboid, this, man, it's like, it's just not it. That ain't it, man. That ain't it. And the takeaway point is if I can grow my whole upper body, just training arms because I'm investing in the consistency, the intensity, and the progression, then you, training your whole body, could see incredible progress just taking that energy out of the hyperfixation of the watching the science videos over and over, of clicking on these things that make it seem like working out is more complicated than it actually is. And that you need to isolate this muscle and that muscle to get your rear delt, you have to do this and that. It's like, it's not bad information, but it's just misleading because it's not actually that complicated. You do any pulling movement, it's hitting your whole back, your rear delts, your rhomboids, your lats, your traps, everything. You do any pressing movement, it's hitting your pec, your whole pec, the front of your shoulders, your triceps. You know, it's just, unless you're the next Mr. Olympia and you're on a bunch of gear and you can specifically bias one month. Most of us, like, doesn't, your genetics are going to determine the shape. Pressing, pulling, legs, bending the elbow this way for biceps, straightening it this way for triceps, it's as simple as that. And that's the message that I'm trying to get across. To just pump the brakes a little. Doesn't mean you can't still work isolation movements into your routine. Doesn't mean that they are a complete lie, okay? I admit. But it's just overkill. It's overemphasis. And I'm trying to say that looking at my wacky, unique situation, that's what you should take from it to your own training. Go, yeah, okay, maybe I don't need these 9 different variations of pressing and squeezing and all these angles and that. Like, do them if you want, but you can just pick 2 freaking chest movements and progress them and up the intensity, and you'll see more growth from that than doing all these specific isolation exercises and then missing workouts and then not training hard enough and not progressing. And that's what a lot of people do, because they consume the information like, oh, that's it, now I've got it, and I'm a smart lifter, I'm training optimally, but then you got holes in your training in other areas. That's just what I've seen through my own experience. Haven't gone through that as well. And you just do these other simple things all out to the maximum within a handful of simple movements you like, and then you got the perfect recipe, man. So that's my point, and I hope that my personal experience kind of illustrates that. So you go, okay, I see, this whack job, only doing arms, growing his whole upper body somehow, this guy's f***ing nuts, but it does show that maybe all these freaking information about these back wacky hump a freaking seated row to get in the right angle, like maybe it's not necessary. I mean, if you like the movement, do it. You know, but maybe it's not necessary, man. Maybe just sit on the machine like a regular person and do some rowing, grow your back. If you want to do the arm workout that you've seen in this video, the footage, I'm documenting each and every one of my arm days and uploading them to my website and to my Only Arms. So go to either one of those sources if you want to do this workout and do every workout that I do. Follow along the exact routines. Train exactly the way I want to. If you're nuts like me and you want gigantic freaking pipe daddies, you want to do the routines that I'm doing, I give you walk you through exactly what I did each day as I'm doing it, kind of like a little log, a little diary of my arm workout. So if you're interested in that, check it out. Go make some gains, go train hard, get in there and freaking grow your meat vehicle to a supersized bulging level, inflate up.